Are you struggling or not sure what to do as a business owner or a CEO? Well, this is going to be the number one tip that you can apply to start doing better. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Matterhorn Business Development YouTube channel. I am Neil Winterregg, and today I want to talk to you about one of the most important things that any CEO or business owner can apply when it comes to managing their business and their employees. So working with a lot of different industries has taught me a lot of unique nuances about different professions, whether it's doctors or tradesmen or artists. And there is different things between each one of these things that makes each field different than the other. But no matter how many different industries I work with or different types of professions of people I talk to, there is one common denominator of all business. And that is people. Without people, there isn't a business. Funny enough, I've actually had people debate me in the comment section of previous videos about this that I find quite amusing. People think of giant corporations as just being these headless monsters. And the truth of the matter is the headless monster is made up of and composed of individuals. So whether it's a gigantic corporation or a small local business that has 5 employees or 20 employees or whatever, there's individuals that make up and comprise every business. And it's the ability of those individuals to work as a team that generates the success that they have. So what is a trait or a characteristic that whether you are in charge of a large corporation or a small corporation or a big team or a small team, what is one of those things that everybody needs to apply? That is the ability to listen. It is the ability of the CEO to listen and be aware of what's going on around them that dictates their next actions and their next move. As we've talked about in many other videos, which you can probably find linked somewhere up here or down below, the ability or job of the CEO is to chart the course of the future and to continue to achieve the goals of the company. Now, for a CEO or a business owner to be able to do that, they have to be listening and paying attention to what's going on around them with their employees to be able to figure out what is needed and wanted to allow people to keep doing their job better. I would say one of the number one common denominators of a struggling business that I've seen is a business owner asleep at the wheel and not listening and paying attention to what their employees have to tell them. Now, there are other things that go into that, which is like having the wrong type of employees and having people that you know you should have fired that you didn't fire. Those are also contributing factors. But I would also say that one of the other biggest factors is that you actually have a business which is struggling and you have employees who want to do better and they are trying to make suggestions or do things and the business owner swears that they know better than anybody else. That is a huge factor when it comes to actually pulling a business up. Usually when I see a struggling business, there's 1 or 2 people who definitely need to go and 1 or 2 people in the business that want to be doing better and want to be doing more, but the business owner is not paying attention or listening to what it is that they need. So for a CEO to be able to chart the path and figure out where it is that we're going, they have to be able to listen to what's going on. I liken the CEO as being a navigator on a ship. Yes, the captain is the one who's steering the ship and guiding the ship, but the navigator is telling the captain, hey, this is where there's a storm. This is where there's shallow water. This is where we have to go to avoid these rocks. And so the captain is actually listening to what's going on with the navigator. But if the captain were just sitting there and he said, well, I can see where we need to go. It's just over there. And the navigator saying, I think we might need to go this way and doesn't, then that captain is going to run the ship onto the rocks. So I look at the CEO as really being the navigator of telling everybody where to go and what to do and how to avoid the pitfalls. But for the navigator to know what's happening, they have to look. And so a CEO has to be able to go and look and talk to their employees and say, what are you running into? What problems do you have? What slows you down from being able to do your job more effectively? And listening and paying attention to them rather than just thinking, oh, well, these kids these days, they don't want to work, or people, they're just here for a paycheck, and not actually listening to what your employees tell you. This is the huge factor that I think makes a successful CEO or business owner versus not. And I will tell you, after having been consulting people for 20 years and lecturing all over the United States and meeting with businesses from across the US, every business that's failing is doing so because the person leading the charge towards failure, the business owner, is not paying attention and listening to what's going on around them. And usually when they do that, things start to get better. So I would say the number one thing that you should take away is talk to your employees. Find out what they're actually doing. Because usually when I start asking employees what they're doing right in front of the business owner, within 2 or 3 minutes, I find something that the business owner doesn't even know that that employee is actually doing. I didn't know you did that. I thought you did. I thought they did that. I thought you did this. And they're like, no, I've been doing it for 3 years. And the business owner doesn't even know what's going on. So of course you're going to struggle. you don't even know what your team is doing. So you need to listen to them. You need to ask them, what do you do? What do you run into? What stops or barriers do you have to achieving your job better? And then taking that information, figure out a way to make them more productive and make changes. Listen to your employees and start talking to them. Now, if you've made it this far in the video, this must have been very helpful to you. So I do ask you to hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and also check out our channel sponsors down below. Medipulse.com is a business management software that you can implement that will help you listen and find out and track what your employees are doing. It's what we use with all of our clients, and I recommend it to you as well. So be sure you hit that link down below, and I'll see you next time.